Nate, have you ever heard of MTV, Yo MTV Raps?
I've heard of it. MTV was just
Fab
a little
Five
bit
Freddy
before my time.
and Ed Lover?
A little bit before my time.
All right. We had my man Nick doing the dance.
Did
Lover
you?
dance, yeah. So anytime you produce, you got to do it.
I got to do it.
Yeah, this is old school and rolling solo today. Solo dolo, as they like to say. We were brought to you by the Mercado, located at 84th and Havelock, certified Piedmontese, and their special ingredients and butcher shop, where they have take-home meals like street tacos, family-size lasagna, single-size lasagna, and tacos. They have any type of pasta you want, seafood, any type of meat and cut that you want, along with desserts, their own beef jerky, turkey jerky, so forth and so on. So the Mercado, located 84th and Havelock. We appreciate their support. So we're old school today. I just came in on the back end of Nate and Strick's conversation. So text line if you're listening. You know, I had a little bit. I turned you guys on a little bit as I was driving in and doing some things today. And I heard Bach and Farley on their show.
Are they going at it?
They're going at it. Bach had a little bit of haterade pumping through his veins. So the text line, I'm reading some of it here. So I want to ask you guys, give me your real reason why you would be okay or have a problem if Mickey Joseph was named the head coach next Monday, regardless of what happens this weekend. Okay, because my feelings is a little bit different. This isn't necessarily about wins and losses. It can't be. Because the metrics came out that you only had to win 6 games to get $5 million. I can guarantee you this, Trev Alberts, if you listening, if I was the head coach of this team, I can guarantee you right now that I would win 6 games. I can guarantee you at the end of this year, we would have 6 games, because if we had got down to the last game and we had 5 wins and we needed that 6th win, guess who would be suited up magically? They're like, we got to transfer in.
You're putting the pads on.
Yeah, I'd be in there. So. Light up the text line, 402-464-5685. Call in, give us your thoughts, or give me your thoughts. See what we can go back and forth. I'll read them right off on air. No hating, you know. I won't censor you. I won't give you the dump button unless you start using some bad language.
They were coming at us.
Yeah,
early,
yeah. You know, I'm okay with it. I've heard worse. Trust me, I played New York teams. You know, the funny thing about playing in New York, I got cheap shotted by a New York Jet player who was funny. He was like the head of the NFLPA for a while. And he was easily one of the dirtiest players I ever played against. Like essentially snapped my leg in half. So the big thing, my grandfather was like, you know, I wanted to always walk off the field, right? But Nate, I got like halfway to the sideline. I was like, nah, it
not
ain't
happening.
Right. So I'm on the John Deere, right? And I'm going. This dude ran down like from like row 10. It was cussing me out. And then he was like, screw Nebraska. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, it's like, dog, my leg is like broken here.
Everyone knows your business.
Right,
though,
yeah. So trust me, anything you say on this text line, it won't hurt my feelings. The first one here from a regular, I don't know, 40, let's see, the 8025, he said he'd be okay with it. He's trying to build it from the bottom up and do it the right way. Boys, it sound like they finally believe. Other guy, Breezy, Scott in the parentheses, I guess that's his name, is Scott Breezy. That's what we're going to call you. It's urban. I truly think it's urban. Boosters and fans want urban. Mickey stays for sure either way. We need to win now. It's been a long 20 years, and I'm tired of losing. Urban will fix this. Oh, he's saying it twice, so he must really mean it. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you right now that Urban Meyer probably would fix it. The only problem is he says Mickey stays either way.
Okay, hold on. We're going to stay right there. We're going to get that. Then we'll get Cruz of Lincoln, Derek, John Clantonio, John. Dang, Ross. Listen here. Hold up. Keep coming. We're going to get to it. Listen here. Kelsey and Mississippi Mud. Is that Mississippi Mud Dog?
Mississippi Mud Dog.
Okay. How do you think it's a guarantee that Urban would fix it? He just was. He didn't even make it through like 5 games in the NFL.
That's also in the NFL. Urban Meyer, every single place he's gone, the least amount of wins he's had in the season is 9. That includes Grambling State. Like Urban Meyer has proven that he is one of the
Urban. He coached at HBCU.
Or what was it? I'm almost positive it was Bowling Green.
You know, Grambling State is a HBCU.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell I was.
You know what HBCU stands for?
Yes, historically black college. Yes.
Is Urban black?
No.
Okay, just want to make sure. We had to get clarification.
Bowling Green, excuse me, including Bowling Green, he has only won 9 games everywhere he's gone.
Okay.
But the problem is, if he wins 9 games at his age now, he'd probably have a heart attack. So
No, I don't think so.
He had a heart attack at Ohio State when they won 10 games.
That's not why he was out.
I don't know.
Okay, we're not going to get into that because we've already been through that. But there's no guarantee you're going to fit. The Urban Meyer that you're hiring right now is not the Urban Meyer that took the Ohio State job.
Well, the thing, the bigger takeaway from this
man tried to kick a grown man.
I know. Well,
okay.
Urban Meyer has his own set of issues, but the biggest takeaway from this text that I have is Mickey stays for sure either way. Are we sure about that?
You don't know about that.
I don't know about that at all.
Hold on. You're not even sure. Who says Mickey's not going to get another offer from another school?
Who says that Mickey's going to accept the demotion? Because at this point in time, it would be a demotion.
Yes and no. Next guy, let me see. Dang, I don't even know how to work this thing, man. This thing is blowing up. We're going to start from the Tyler. Let's see what he says. Urban would love the brass rail for the offseason and this. Exactly. Let me see. 0389. Urban's a skank. He's best not to show his homely mug here. I hear you. Bubba. Are you clowns with Urban Meyer business? Stop, you idiots. Shocker. Oh, VJ's gone. Okay. Let's see what Mississippi Muck Dog he says. He says, Mickey's the man, great recruiter, great leader. The kids play hard for him. His only knock is the lack of head coaching experience, but I think that's overblown. He's well-traveled and has plenty of coaching experience. 7754 Mickey. 8796 Mickey. Derek, let me see. Let's see what D-Rock is saying. Derek is in the car. He says, I'm riding with Mickey because he's a great recruiter, great man, and he loves this place. He's here for it. 0145. Enough of Urban Meyer. I won't say what else he said. Let's see what my man Ross says. Ross, without knowing what's going on behind the scenes, seems almost like settling if we don't explore options outside of Mickey. On the flip side, it's impossible to deny that Mickey has already made improved state of the program. He clearly has the support of the kids. I'd like to think we can get someone who has ran a Power 5 program already, who has proven they know what it takes to get the job done. Let me see. There's some truth to that, but let me see what he says. We need Flex Seal. I highly doubt we will be able to recruit after the dumpster fire he started in the NFL. People only know Urban because of the recruiting skills, which Mickey has done, and Mickey will still stick around after 4 years. See, there's a lot of truth to that right there. Let's see. There's one that I haven't done. I'm horrible at this.
Clatonia John, he says, I think we should name Mickey the head coach right now. You can just see the love and passion he has for football, loves the kids, and loves recruiting.
There it is. All over the place. Mickey, Urban. I mean, I just, the experience thing is always funny. It is. Because when we hired Scott Frost, nobody said experience wasn't an issue. The staff wasn't an issue. He's only been a head coach for 2 years, essentially for 18 months. It wasn't an issue. Running a true Power 5 program wasn't an issue. Like UCF is not a Power 5 program.
No.
That conference is not a Power 5 program. So that wasn't a problem. So now we have, these are the new kind of stipulations that we have instead of, this is what people don't understand. This is just my opinion, right? And if somebody asks me, I'll tell them, when you're a head coach, you better look at the person first. Okay, who are you hiring as the person? Is he a worker? Is he, all the qualities that you want in your head coach? You get what I'm saying? And I think one of the things I heard Nick Saban say when he talked about when he left Michigan, when he was at Michigan State, went to LSU, and what he learned when he took over the job at Alabama. One of the things he learned was his job as a head coach is not only to mentor and groom players, right? And he's like, I don't have a lot of contact with them. He's like, my biggest job is to make sure I'm continuously mentoring and grooming coaches because that's a direct line to the players. So when you have a young coach, right? So you got to think, okay, the head coach that's at Georgia or was at Georgia or Kirby Smart. Nick Saban, he groomed him. Went from DB coach, defensive coordinator. The guy there, linebacker coach, defensive coordinator, something. You know what I mean?
Bill O'Brien.
Back and forth. Where Bill O'Brien's had head coaching, but you got to understand these guys are. I mean, experience is one thing, but every coach is still learning. Every coach is still learning because coaching. If you go, say we got Dabo Sweeney, right? Just say I'm talking about somebody from a totally different conference.
That'd be awesome.
He would still have to learn and experience how to coach in the Big Ten. It's a totally different atmosphere. And I would say the closest thing to the Big Ten is the SEC, and that's where Mickey came from as a wide receiver coach. I think he might have been an offensive coordinator, co-offensive or whatever it was, passing game coordinator or whatever.
How important do you think it is too now that all the players speak very highly of Mickey Joseph, and in the current environment of college football, I feel like that's important. That's what a lot of people aren't talking about. Like that relationship that you have with the players is so important, and he has that. Obviously,
that's what I'm saying. It's the part you have these kids are the why, right? Until they understand the why, then they won't run through a wall for you. But these kids are under the surface, they're no different than when we came up. It just got to get to it a different way. Coach Osborne came up to you and said, "Hey man, we're gonna run over Panther strong. I need you to run right through Chris Naoli's face." Okay. Now you got to tell him this is why. And this is how you're going to benefit from it. So you have to it's a little bit more of a high maintenance type of coaching, but that's just part of the deal. And then you got to constantly re-recruit your roster. I think that, Mickey, I think the Mickey understands, like the few times I've talked to Mickey, there isn't a lot of BS. Like when he's talking to me though. You get what I'm saying? It's me. Like we're looking at each other, we're talking. And I can, we're talking back and forth. So it's give and take. So he's doing probably the same thing with the players. So it's a little different. Now, and this isn't just because Mickey has a different connection with the players doesn't mean that like Scott and the other guys didn't either. Because I could tell you this for factual. Okay, those guys on defense when I was there, they liked Eric Shenander. I know that for a fact. I saw it. That's probably part of the reason why they played. Well, there was more veteran guys, more experience, but part of that was there. So. I'm sure I'm sure there's an evaluation process. I mean, even Mickey said, look, this is Nebraska. You expect them to kind of interview other people. It'd be, unless it was like a foregone conclusion, then, you get what I'm saying? Then sure, then you don't. But
well, I mean, Trev even said he's going to.
And that's as
he
you
told
should.
You straight up.
That's as you should.
Right.
And then once you go through the, to be honest with you, I want you to do that because then once I, get the job, then, there's no what ifs, right? So then we've got to be all on board. So I think, a lot of people, just depends on where you're at. If you want to get a name and you want to have something to talk about, then you're going to go out there and do the same thing we did before. And then it's around 4 years later, we'll be there later on. You want to get a coach that wants to be here for the next 5 to 12 years here at Nebraska. That means what is going to happen in the next 5 to 12 years. You're going to start to ascend, maybe hit a peak, dip down a little bit because that's the way football goes. And then you got to use the things that you got to ascend to get up there to that, like when you're in 10, you're 10, 11, 12, and then you'll steady it. Then you'll continue along that path.
People are going to try and poach you too once you get to that point.
Well, the best thing that you could think of is they start poaching your coaches. That means you're doing a good job. And that's one of the things that when we were facing Illinois this weekend, Brett Bielema said that he learned from when he left Arkansas. He's like, we're doing some good things. And I put together a good staff because other guys were hiring a staff. Yeah, different and they were getting different jobs. And so what he did was he said he learned so much about himself, about what he did right and did wrong in the 30 days. He had 30 days, the first 30 days, and then the next 30 days. So the 60 days that he learned. And then he went around and then, he coached with Belichick a little bit in the pros, defense line, offense line, learned that a little bit. And then it was set himself up to, obviously, run another Big Ten program. And he came back and done it. And I think another thing Nebraska fans shouldn't do, there is not a lot of comparables. Don't compare. Well, Brett Bielema did it in a year. So then this is what we should. That's what the expectations of part of the unrealistic expectations of Scott getting this job was he just had an undefeated season. So then what everybody kind of like went back to. Well, he did it in 2 years at UCF. He needs to do it here. It's a totally different ball game. It was a totally different program that Scott took over. Even though they didn't win a game, they had a lot of talent and they just were a winning program a few years prior versus here, you went through, at least 4 years with Mike Riley, not even close to even a winning culture. And you had a lot of guys that wouldn't even want to work or at least come to play football. So you coming in and thinking, versus, ultimately taking over a program with no wins is a lot easier than taking over when you had some guys that had kind of like a fool's gold 9-win season that one year with Mike Riley and maybe 5 games when he got fired. Whereas these guys have never won a game, so they're going to listen and do anything you say. And then versus you get guys that think they know everything, they're going to revert back. They'll revolt on hard work. Whereas you got these guys now here, they're embracing it. I think ultimately when you play football and work at it, that if it's a different feeling than when you've been standing around all day in practice because you're actually playing football. So whether you're first, second, or third team, it doesn't matter. You're playing football. That means you can actually go home and evaluate yourself. Did I do good today? Did I win today? What can I get better at? What I got worse at? So forth and so on. That's how you build depth. That's how you build a program. That's kind of what Mickey's doing right now.
Yeah.
Let me see. Okay, we got a question from Tom before we go into break. Jay, do you or we know with certainty that Mickey wants to be the head coach at Nebraska? Yes, we do. I certainly hope Mickey is part of the staff next year, if not the head coach. I will never speak for Mickey because I always feel like I don't like people speaking for me. There's a lot of guys that try to do that. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. From what I gather, and I'm not a gambling person, but if I had to bet $1, I would bet that he wants to be the head coach at Nebraska. He's coaching like it. He's not playing games. That's what everybody Mickey is not playing games. This is not dress up. It's not Halloween. you know what I'm saying? He's coaching this like he's the coach. The only people that's viewing him as an intern is whoever's putting it in front of his name.
I mean, he literally got rid of the defensive coordinator.
He's
calling the shots. Like he's treating it like he's the coach. You're right.
Right. So why wouldn't you? Until you tell me otherwise, I'm the coach, and I'm going to do as such. But he's doing it for everything for the right reason. So the answer to your question is yes. I'm not speaking for Mickey, but I can only go by his actions, and that's better sometimes than me making some assumptions. We are going to head to break for next. What we got? Short break or long break?
6 minutes.
6 minutes. I feel sorry for you guys. You guys got to wait 360 seconds to get me back on here so we can spew some more stuff about the press conference and so forth and so on. But it's old school. We're going to head into the break. We'll be back shortly.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wow. Did you ever save me money on my car?
Yes, that's why our customers keep coming back.
How do you do it, friendly car dealer ?
We simply have low overhead and high trade-in values. The next line's yours.
Oh.
Ready for something better? Mullen Motors is a no-hassle, no-pressure dealership with financing available. Check out the inventory at MikeMullenMotors.com.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Vershawn Jackson for Brandt Excavating. Brandt's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brandt is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brandt Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to BrandtExcavating.com. They're also hiring, so join the team today. Brandt Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, go big Brandt.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
A good game with good friends. But isn't it time to up the score when it comes to the food? Wings and Rings is here for every football fan. Catch the game on one of their big screens or snag a tailgate pack to go. They're cranking up the heat and throwing in mad flavor this season. Stop by your locally owned Wings and Rings on O Street, Meridian Park, or 48th and Old Cheney in Williamsburg Village, or grab some crave-worthy Wings and Rings to go. Make them your go-to destination to watch your team bring home the win. Wings and Rings. Game time just got better.
Lose fat, build muscle, gain endurance. Whatever your goal, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping can help you achieve it. Farrell's offers group fitness for all levels in a fun, welcoming environment. Their proven method combines kickboxing, cardio, and strength training to get you in the best shape of your life. You've heard all about their 10-week challenges, but you can join as a member anytime. Head to fxbeatlincoln.com to learn more. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill or just south of 78th and Pioneers.
Bagels and Joe has a brand new location in Seward, and it's open for business. Get ready for the fall with pumpkin chocolate chip muffins, pumpkin cream cheese, and a pumpkin pie smoothie. Don't forget their delicious breakfast burritos and sandwiches, and grab a business box of bagels for the work crew. Bagels and Joe with 4 Lincoln locations and now in Seward.
Trendy or traditional, Gary Michaels Clothiers specializes in men's tailored clothing. Off the rack or custom made to measure, there is simply no better shopping experience. Offering designer furnishings, sportswear, shoes, outerwear, and accessories for a man always concerned at looking his best. With world-class tailoring and personal service, all makes Gary Michaels Clothiers Nebraska's premier store for men. Come visit us now at Village Gardens, south of 56th and Pine Lake Road in Lincoln.
Hi, I'm Charlie Stone, and I'm back with Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, you said to me earlier you have a lot going on at the dealership. Can you tell our listeners about it?
Sure can, Charlie. As I've said before, if you don't see a vehicle on our lot that you're looking for, it's probably on its way soon.
So, how many new Hondas do you have in stock or on the way?
We have a total of over 325, Charlie, with a great selection of Pilots and Ridgelines in stock right now.
Well, we have been talking about the Honda of Lincoln way of buying cars for several months. How is that going?
People love it. We're buying all makes and models, whether they purchase the car from us or not. I mean, really, it's a no hassle, and we will pay them cash on the same day.
Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We are back. Old school text line is lit up like a Christmas tree. 5455. He says, one thing that drives me crazy is everybody saying that our next coach must have Power 5 head coaching experience. I would say the second, third, and fourth best coaches in the entire country right now, and Kirby, Dabo, and Day are all first-time head coaches. Dabo was even a wide receiver coach. Sounds familiar. What do you think about that there, Nathaniel?
All right, I'm going to say, one, let's pump the brakes, because the next thing we're going to do is we're going to set up expectations that he needs to be Dabo Swinney.
No, he's not saying that.
No, I'm just saying, like, let's say, I don't want to make that comparison because I think it's a bit unfair to Mickey. But I understand the point that he's saying in the case that Dabo came as a wide receiver coach, and he has turned out basically about as good as he possibly could have asked for.
Better. Just think of how many coaches have been hired and fired since Dabo took the job. Or got the job.
Probably 90% of.
And did he get the job in the middle of the season, kind of like Mickey?
No, I'm pretty sure he starts it. Well, his first season was terrible. I remember that. And he's won, what, 2 national championships?
Yeah. And recruit. And then here's the thing. Here's a great thing about Dabo.
I got Trevor Lawrence.
Which, he's still suspect at best. He saw that he needed to change his program and become more physical. and he set out that next spring because they got boat raced by Alabama they could handle them skill wise. Physically, they got beat up.
Mm-hmm.
So he understood the game that he needed to adjust to. That's the difference between Clemson. Now, of course, they have great players.
DJ Uiagalelei.
But they're not. But other teams haven't caught up to be physical with them. As physical as them. He's demanding physicality along with.
He's just a good coach.
Yeah, but what I'm saying though, Nathaniel, is his ability to take a self-check. You get to the national championship. Some places just think once you got there, you won a national championship.
Yeah.
Right? So he didn't just rest on his laurels. He's like, we got our butt kicked. We need to go back to work in the spring, and we need to get more physical in the spring, which in turn is going to let them have three defensive linemen go in the first round that 1 year, and one get drafted the next year in the first round. That's what you're talking. That's the leadership that you want, not somebody just being satisfied with being okay. And that's what Dabo did. You hit it out of the park. They must have saw something in his leadership skills from a wide receiver position coach that he could take to be the head coach. Now, was there growing pains? You dang sure there was. Was there experience challenges? You dang sure there was. But what do? They stayed the course with it because they had a long-term plan. And if it didn't work out, then they would have had to make a move. That's all there is to it. You only, like when you're in these positions to hire people, you only can hire the person for the situation at that point in time. There's no guarantee that if we hired Urban Meyer, that it's going to be successful. Now the chances might be higher because he's done it before.
Well, it's certainly higher.
Okay, but that's in theory, because Urban Meyer, I'm sure, has burned a lot of bridges. The competition is way more thicker. Okay, and you're not coming in here with a plethora of athletes like you did with Ohio State, where you have always
and Florida for that.
And Florida, right, and just have first round picks everywhere. That's not going to happen. You're going to have to start essentially at Bowling Green. Does he have the energy and want to? Does it?
That's the biggest question. Is everyone keeps throwing out Urban Meyer? Why are we so convinced that Urban Meyer wants this job? Like who?
I don't know.
Like who
I
just
think
said Urban Meyer wants the job? If you asked Urban Meyer right now, he'd probably say he doesn't want the job. The current state of the program? Are you kidding me? I don't know.
And then
I don't know.
Here's also my man Trundle says Dabo's able to get the players there, in Clemson, South Carolina doesn't even have an airport. What that also says, I don't want to hear anything about, you can't get guys to come here. You can't. You got to have the guy that's going to go out there and get him. You got to be the closer. Coach Osborne was a closer. I'm going to tell you the story about Coach Osborne. Here's the deal. I liked Coach Barnett at that time at Northwestern. They just went to the Rose Bowl. Right? They had Autry the running back, Fitzgerald was linebacker. It was a magical year, right? So when Coach Osborne and Coach Brown and Coach Young came to my house, Michigan State came in the day before or the night before, but that night it was it was Iowa first, then Northwestern, and then Coach Osborne. But here, the Northwestern one went a little bit long because I really liked him, right? And the big holdup was, could I handle it? How are you going to get me in there academically? You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, we don't need to go.
Northwestern's a good school.
Yeah, and it's hard to get in there academically. Hey, get me in. You better pull some strings. So that was the conversation went a little bit longer, right? The head coach and I forget who the running back coach was, that they passed Coach Osborne walking up to my house, right? Snow, and so they had to see each other. Met with Coach Osborne. He called me up the next day, and he's like, do we even have a chance? Because we saw Coach Osborne there. Other coaches know. When I saw T.O., it was over. T.O.'s about to go down to a national championship game. He's coming to see me. It's over. They're not even close. And so when you talk about Dabo or a coach you want somebody that's able to close. X's and O's is over. You're a head coach. Now you need to know everything and have an opinion because you know football, right? But dibble dabbling and all that stuff and footwork and all that stuff, that's what you're paying these other dudes for.
Yeah, it's true.
But that doesn't mean that you don't know. That means you oversee everything, but that's what you're trusting your staff to do. Work on the fundamentals, hold people accountable, make sure everybody's playing on the same playing field. X, Y, and Z, the expectations that are coming down from the head coach to the position coaches, seeping down to the players, down to the equipment staff, down to the janitor, everybody. I'm telling you, when we were playing, everybody on here is everybody sometimes gets so bent out of shape about the 90s, right? Oh, let's stop living in the past. Well, it's not about living in the past. My national championship rings ain't going nowhere. My Hall of Fame ring ain't going nowhere. I could care less. But the things that we did to be good is the only way you're going to win a football. We've tried it every single way, right? Bo did it right, except for in the big games. I think it was just a little bit of a challenge. Okay, that's fine. We understand that. Okay, now we went Grandpa Mike, right? Nice Mike. That ain't work. We went to like kind of like the Oregon way. That seemed not to work. At the end of the day, at Nebraska, until you want to line up and play white knuckle football and be physical, we'll just be banging our head against the wall. That doesn't mean that you can't. That doesn't mean you can't stretch the field. That doesn't mean that you can't do read option or RPO or whatever the fancy new offense is. But until you want to line up and play some football, right? When it comes down to it, and we're seeing it coming down the back end right here, 5 games in a row. Not a lot of fanciness going on, right? Michigan's not fancy. Illinois is not fancy. Wisconsin not
Minnesota
fancy.
is certainly not
Minnesota
fancy.
ain't fancy. And Iowa ain't fancy. Those are the teams that you got to. You got to. At the end of the day, all that stuff that's fine and dandy. That's kind of like your, non-conference stuff. It's all fine and dandy. But when you got to knuckle up, why do your boy Brian Kelly? Why do you think LSU end up boat racing them by 25 points? Mississippi couldn't withstand the physicality of that game. And then what happened? They scored 45 points. So if LSU averaged 45 points for the rest of the year, would you, in your opinion, would you think that would be a high-powered offense?
Yeah, on paper, yeah.
Well, okay, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
If somebody said, here, your offense is going to average 45 points a year, game 1 to game 12, that's a high-powered offense.
Yeah.
Okay, they still get to it. When Alabama was winning national championships, or they still are, but when they were first winning national championships, they still were scoring 37, 38 points a game, 40 points a game. Just because you break the game open at a different time. Everybody thinks just because you score a lot of points, and everybody gets dumbfounded about when a team scores 70 points, and that's not happening when you play against real competition. That ain't happening. USC was running through everybody, spotting people 14, end up winning by 28, go up to Utah. Yeah, you were up by 13 points.
You punched in the mouth.
Right. Then we're going to keep punching you, and guess what? You don't feel like crossing the field that much. You're not getting open as fast. The games get as those games get tighter, then they have to play football. So I think once we get to that point, when you talk about leadership and stuff like that, that's the stuff that you got to do, and it's got to be something you got to live every single day. You can't just decide when you're rolling up to the stadium and see all the fans, and you do the senior walk or whatever it is, that you're going to be physical. It's just got to be the way it's got to be the way you roll.
What Iowa does, what Minnesota does, works every year.
Yeah. Let's see what my man Pecan Pie says. In today's world of college football, can a program redshirt all incoming linemen? That to me is how you start building a program. Well, it depends if they're good. It just kind of depends. I mean, if the dude's good enough to play him, but you can't depend on him. You would rather not have to depend so much on Teddy Prohaska, where you're essentially anointing him like he's Orlando Pace, right? Straight up. You would like to say, we have a really good guy, really good young freshman that's going to play some. In a year or two, he's going to be a dang good tackle.
Are kids willing to do that now, though? That's the question. Because I feel like that was the culture that you guys established, and that was at the time
it was established great. Because when I looked out there, I saw Troy Dumas and Jay Foreman.
Right.
Period.
But I'm saying now with the transfer portal and NIL and all that stuff, I just don't know if kids are going to be willing to do that.
Right.
That's the problem.
You know what? Where are you going to go? If you can't play here, first of all, Ohio State don't need you. All right.
No, they got
it's almost
5-star.
Okay,
5-star over there.
Right. Jerry DiNardo from the Big Ten, when he went around and did his campus visits in the offseason, he said Minnesota had the best roster that he saw top to bottom up until that point. Now, he hadn't been to Michigan and Ohio State, but he had been to Penn State before. Well, Penn State don't need you, right? They don't, unless you're really special. Minnesota probably doesn't need you, right? Iowa doesn't do a lot in the transfer portal, right? Wisconsin, I don't think does that much. So then I'm going to ask you, okay, so if you're not willing to play behind or split time with somebody that's better than you or as good as you, what what do you expect? You think this is a pit stop to go to the pros? Like, if you do, you just got this whole concept of football wrong.
And that's part of the problem with the transfer portal, because you have hundreds of kids that just sit in it and never move.
Yeah, it's the vortex.
I know, and that's the only thing I'm saying is, like, in the current nature of college football with the NIL and transfer portal, like, I'm just worried that if you tell a kid that from being recruited, he's going to say no. It's just tough. It's just a different.
Well, telling them what? I mean, look, you're not telling them you're going to come in a redshirt, because there's plenty of guys that come in as freshmen. Oh, Braylon Allen, okay, guy was.
Yeah.
They had no idea.
17 years old.
Right, 17 years old, kind of like a throw-in. I think he was a linebacker in high school, and then one guy got suspended. The guy that's supposed to be starting had attitude problem. The other guy got hurt. Well, you played high school running back, yeah, sure. And he ends up. It's just a matter of time before he goes
to
right.
Rushing. Yeah.
So I don't think any coach is gonna say, okay, no matter what, when you come here,
right,
it's unless it's somebody that's a true project, right? Whereas, like, even like myself, right? So say if I was getting recruited now, yeah, they would probably say, you know what, yeah, you know, you're a good football player, but you need to get bigger, faster, stronger. You never lifted weights before. That's a reality that I knew coming in and had to come to terms with. But if somebody comes in and can play, we're not in a position not to play good players, but you just don't want to depend on all freshmen. So another hot topic, this text line is off the chart. I can't even keep up with it. So we're going to go to a quick break. We're going to be back, and then one more quick segment before the end of the hour. So this is Old School with Jay Foreman rolling solo today. We'll be back in 5 minutes.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese Beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock, or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
People first is more than a nice sentiment. At American Senior Benefits, it's the mission. If you're ready for a career where you can truly put your customers' needs ahead of everything else, this is for you. American Senior Benefits is one of the leading senior market insurance product distributors in the country, and they're looking for high-energy applicants with strong communication skills. Enjoy on-the-job training, a fun work environment, and unlimited income potential. Visit asbmidwest.com to learn more. American Senior Benefits.
Bagels & Joe has a brand new location in Seward, and it's open for business. Get ready for the fall with pumpkin chocolate chip muffins, pumpkin cream cheese, and a pumpkin pie smoothie. Don't forget their delicious breakfast burritos and sandwiches, and grab a business box of bagels for the work crew. Bagels & Joe, with 4 Lincoln locations and now in Seward.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Join us on Friday from 4 to 6 at Bourbon Street as we get you ready for Saturday's game against Illinois. Old School Jay Foreman and DP goes from 4 to 6 p.m. Stop by for some of the best drinks and Cajun food in town at Bourbon Street at 8th and Q.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Trendy or traditional, Gary Michaels Clothiers specializes in men's tailored clothing. Off the rack or custom made to measure, there is simply no better shopping experience. Offering designer furnishings, sportswear, shoes, outerwear, and accessories for a man always concerned at looking his best. With world-class tailoring and personal service, all makes Gary Michaels Clothiers Nebraska's premier store for men. Come visit us now at Village Gardens, south of 56th and Pine Lake Road in Lincoln.
October often presents all 4 seasons within 1 month. Are you and your feet prepared for the highs and lows? Stop in now to Brown Shoe Fit for a fall sale. Get $10 to $15 off any regular price shoe over $70. Save on dress shoes, athletic shoes, boots, and even hiking shoes. Brown's has great brands like Brooks, New Balance, Clarks, Hoka, Merrell, and more. Some exclusions may apply, so see store for details. Stop by Brown Shoe Fit today for their fall sale, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Sunny skies and near seasonal conditions as temperatures rise up to 61 this afternoon. Winds out of the north-northwest at around 15. Mainly clear tonight, a little cool with a low of 34. Tomorrow, increasing cloud cover late with a high once again of around 61. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
A good game with good friends. But isn't it time to up the score when it comes to the food? Wings and Rings is here for every football fan. Catch the game on one of their big screens or snag a tail great pack to go. They're cranking up the heat and throwing in mad flavor this season. Stop by your locally owned Wings and Rings on O Street, Meridian Park, or 48th and Old Cheney in Williamsburg Village, or grab some crave-worthy Wings and Rings to go. Make them your go-to destination to watch your team bring home the win. Wings and Rings. Game time just got better.
Get a lot of advice about self-care these days, but one of the most important self-care steps we can take is making sure we're financially secure later in life. For small steps you can take to save for retirement, visit WeSaySaveIt.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Back to Old School with DP and J.
We are back for one short segment for the end of the hour. Text line, I appreciate you guys lighting it up. We'll get to everyone, I promise you. We won't even probably get to women's basketball and all this other stuff in the next hour. We're going to keep rolling with this Huskers stuff, even though I generally don't talk about it. I'm gonna read a couple more texts, right? It says, Jay, tell Nate about the presence of T.O., how he was stoic and stately and lengthy and sort of quietly captured the room when he was recruiting and coaching, etc. That it couldn't be said any better. Couldn't be said any better. He had when he demanded the room when he walked in. You know he had a big presence, but he was extremely humble. Obviously, he was stoic, and he was stoic and actually in times of adversity. But he was very, very clear and very, very thorough when we had some stuff going on. Right, there was no discrepancies. You knew exactly where you stood, but he was also very supportive. So he had a mix of everything. And this is also one thing that people don't give Coach Osborne enough credit for. And I didn't realize this until you experience having some bad head coaches at the professional level, because that affects how you get paid, is he did a really good job of having different personalities as in his like offensive staff, right? Defensive staff, all mixed together with him leading it. But he also did it within each room. He knew who leaders were. He knew where the potential future alphas were. He knew who the guys were betas and had to kind of come along, and they gained their strength from being around strength in numbers, or they knew who guys were just straight up, thoroughbreds that are just going to just bull through everything. You get what I'm saying? So his ability to put a team together extended way beyond star rankings, height, weight, size, and speed. That's what you got to get back to, because when you get here, generally everybody's a good athlete. Now, what can you bring out of them extra to make them the best that they can be? You know what I'm saying? And so Jason's 100% correct. I'm going to get to another one. John in Cortland. Let me see what he says. He says, cover it from when I left work. Urban. He's like, get out of town. Mickey is an active job interview. I like Coach Joseph. As for 6 minutes without Jay, freedom. Change to music 5:55. I don't know what that means, but maybe you don't want to listen to me anymore. Hopefully, John, the last guy, here we go.
Stick around, John.
Breezy. I think he might have just said he was only going to listen to music for 6 minutes. That's what I'm going to take it. He's like, he just got home and turned off the radio. Not sure you got to my last text. Breezy, I apologize. There's so many. He said, just between you and me, do you think Trev has his guy hired already, whether it's Mickey Urban or Jay Foreman? Yeah, first of all, I can tell you one thing. Jay Foreman ain't on Trev Albert's radar.
Not on your
not
radar.
not for head coach. Trev, if you listen, hey, look, man, I'll do it for about 20% of what you paying the last coach. You know what I'm saying? I get you some more bang for your buck. Now I'm just playing. I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer that. You know, I mean, who knows? You know, I'm sure the only people that are going to know who he has in mind are, I don't know, whoever the powers that be. I'm sure. I mean, Trev and then whoever the guys that make the decision, they probably meet on it quite frequently and go from there.
I don't know if he has a guy, but I know that he's talking to people because he told you that he's going to talk.
As he should.
Exactly.
This is what he's getting paid for. So let him do his job. Let his all hand out. Then see. I always say, let me see. He says, Breezy says it's been 6 weeks. Do you think Trev has it all wrapped up? No, I don't think so. But let's see what here. Let's see 0389. The next head coach needs to be able to get a solid OC in DC, top 15 recruiting class, and be a good leader. That's it. That sounds pretty simple.
Top 15 recruiting class. Think Nebraska can get
that
there?
That sounds pretty simple.
Top 15. I mean,
that sounds pretty easy. Just those guys just come out of the sky. Those guys that you just right there, just get all the best coaches and all the best players. Here we are. And then you know what? And then in 3 years, we need to be in Indianapolis as a 20-point favorite.
Well, the one thing I do think Mickey does have good relationships, and I think he could hire a good staff. Honestly, the most difficult out of that is the top 15 recruiting class.
Listen here.
That's tough to do.
Listen here.
That's a good recruiting class.
Yeah, you know what makes a good recruiting class? 4 years after these dudes get here. That's where you know if it's a top 15 recruiting class.
Yeah, that's true.
The recruiting class, when they come in, don't mean tiddly poo. Straight up, it don't. Because you want to know why? There's so many guys that come in, can't miss dudes, this, and this, and can't play a lick. Can't play a lick. I've seen it. I've seen dudes come in from Texas and they can't play a lick. Next you know, you got Brian Shaw from Superior, Nebraska running circles around him. Starting. It doesn't matter. I mean, yes, now within reason. Now, we can't be like, 90th, but I'm just saying, you will tell how good this recruiting class is 2 or 3 years down the road. Period. Can they handle competition? Are they truly accountable? Better yet, are they really a competitor or are they a front runner? Because a lot of times these guys that come to a place like Nebraska are highly rated. They might be front runners. They might think, okay, it's just they need to kind of roll out the red carpet. Well, listen here. There's guys that bite back. Straight up. They bite back.
Look at Iowa. I mean, Iowa never has a good recruiting class.
But they develop
8, 9, 10 win football team.
They develop players.
Yeah.
And if you took their players that they come in with and then with the product of what they leave, they would be maybe top 20 recruiting class.
For sure. Oh, absolutely.
Then that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Now, granted, you want to start with something. You don't need a bunch of, chumps out there, and you can't make chicken salad, chicken doo-doo, but you want to at least be able to develop these kids. So that was good. That was a quick first hour. My man Nate O'Brennan. I want to give him his props. I said I was rolling solo. Nate's in his feelings, so he's a modern day
how about that?
Athlete now. He's always in his feelings because
he
doesn't get included.
That's right.
But I really don't care. But since Nate's here, he's a good dude. I'm rolling with Nate today on Old School. So it's a little bit old school, new school. We're heading into the break. We'll be back. John and Cortland in 6 minutes and 59 seconds.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you need to sell equipment and trucks, Ritchie Brothers' new Lincoln Satellite Yard lets you free up space at your property and get local access to all Ritchie Brothers auctions. Drop your equipment off and sell it online at any Ritchie Brothers auction, Iron Planet, or via Marketplace E. The yard is at 8801 US 6 Lincoln. It's secure and makes for easy in-person buyer inspections and pickup. Take advantage of this yard to sell at Ritchie Brothers' Great Plains Regional Auction, September 15th and 16th. For details, visit rbauction.com/Lincoln. Hopcat exists at the intersection of great beer and delicious food, complemented by music, art, community, and comfort. Home to a best-in-class beer experience served by craft beer experts, guests can expect a casual, inviting local gathering place with some of the best damn burgers and fries you'll find in Lincoln. There is no better place to watch any Nebraska game other than the 50-yard line at Memorial Stadium. Hopcat is located at 6th and P in the Haymarket. To plan your next trip to Hopcat, visit www.hopcat.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
A good game with good friends. But isn't it time to up the score when it comes to the food? Wings and Rings is here for every football fan. Catch the game on one of their big screens or snag a tailgate pack to go. They're cranking up the heat and throwing in mad flavor this season. Stop by your locally owned Wings and Rings on O Street, Meridian Park, or 48th and Old Cheney in Williamsburg Village, or grab some crave-worthy Wings and Rings to go. Make them your go-to destination to watch your team bring home the win. Wings and Rings. Game time just got better.
Trendy or traditional, Gary Michaels Clothiers specializes in men's tailored clothing. Off the rack or custom made to measure, there is simply no better shopping experience. Offering designer furnishings, sportswear, shoes, outerwear, and accessories for a man always concerned at looking his best. With world-class tailoring and personal service, all makes Gary Michaels Clothiers Nebraska's premier store for men. Come visit us now at Village Gardens, south of 56th and Pine Lake Road in Lincoln.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air. When it comes to your home or business, we know you have options, and that's why John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning gives you just that. Options. We have plumbing, heating, and cooling memberships to serve all of your residential and commercial needs. We want to ensure you, your family, and your business are safe. Visit our website, jhlincoln.com, to find out more or call us at 435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Join us on Friday from 4 to 6 at Bourbon Street as we get you ready for Saturday's game against Illinois. Old School Jay Foreman and DP goes from 4 to 6 p.m. Stop by for some of the best drinks and Cajun food in town at Bourbon Street at 8th and Q.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back in the future.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Jay Foreman, Nate Brennan. Jay Foreman, Nate O'Brennan. For you people out there that are in your history books, knowing that he's the Irishman.
It's true.
We are brought to you by the Mercado Certified Piedmontese and their butcher shop located at 84th and Havelock. Great entree menu, or great appetizer menu, entree and dessert. I always go for the strawberry sorbet. I'm not big into desserts, but I like to either strawberry sorbet. They don't have carrot cake, so I go to the sorbet. But we want to thank the Mercado for sponsoring us and letting us do what we do. Now back to it. Back to regular state of program. We're going to deal with the state of Nebraska program now. So we're going to go with Cruz and Lincoln. Let's see what my man Cruz and Lincoln is talking about He says, who cares about whatever the ranking or recruiting class is? I hear you. We need to stop going for these whatever stars and start worrying about what the kid personality. That's what That's what I'm saying, Cruz. There's an old saying that Coach McBride says, man, it's good that we got him here. He's like, he wish you could, split us open, see if our heart pumps Kool-Aid or the real stuff. Did your heart pump Kool-Aid, Nate?
My heart pumps a lot of Kool-Aid. I'll be the first person to tell you right now. Someone asked me earlier today, they were like, what happens if Mickey Joseph loses every game for the rest of the season? Are you still drinking the Kool-Aid? I'm like, yeah, because if you look at where Nebraska was after the Georgia Southern game to now, I don't care if he loses every game. They're in a better position than they were after that Georgia Southern game. That's all you can ask for. So,
I just think
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. You are in a better position than you were
trying. They were asking if your heart pumps Kool-Aid. So it's either you a man or a mouse, a champion or a chump.
I don't know what that means.
Pretty much you just said you were a chump. Just letting you know.
Why? Because I'm drinking the Kool-Aid?
No, I asked if your heart pumps Kool-Aid or the real stuff, and you said your heart pumps Kool-Aid. Go back and listen to yourself. So now you disrespected yourself and your dad and your family name by saying.
What are you talking about? No, I'm not a chump.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
I don't know. So what's the difference between pumping the Kool-Aid and drinking the Kool-Aid?
No, Nate. I thought Nick might have been the dopiest white kid I ever met in my life.
Was that
you are now have superseded him.
How was that?
Listen to what I'm saying.
Nick doesn't know anything. Nick's just a kid.
First of all, you said Bowling Green and Grambling were two.
I'm colorblind. That's not fair.
Okay, but you said Urban Meyer would coach at Grambling State.
Fine.
Coach McBride. Do you know who Charlie McBride is?
Yes.
Okay. He used to say, it's great to have these guys here, but he wish he could go inside their body and see if their heart pumps Kool-Aid or the real stuff, which is blood.
Okay.
You said, after I asked you, if your
My heart pumps the real
Kool-Aid,
thing.
Okay, are you sure?
Yeah, no,
okay.
I donate blood. So, yeah,
Nate,
it's pumping
your heart
the
pumps
thing.
Kool-Aid. That's all there is to it.
Come on.
Even Crowbait says, Nate, Kool-Aid or blood, man?
Blood.
Exactly.
Blood.
Rico, Nate, what the hell? Look, Rico says, I don't know how to feel. Yes, Rico, I feel you, man. This is like astrophysics. Okay, we got the 308 or at least 8107. He came with the
Johnny Cortland, the Irishman from Virginia Tech. I kind of like that.
This dude gave us our coaching staff. All right, here we go. Right here. We got head coach, wide receiver coach Mickey Joseph. If he's a head coach, you most likely won't be a wide receiver coach, but we'll let you run with it. OC, Joe Brady. O-line, John Garrison. Tight end, Sean Beckton. DC, Jeff Collins. Special teams, OLBs, Bill Bush. D-line, Ed Ogeron.
Oh, let's go, Coach O. Go Tigers.
Travis Fisher or Terry Joseph as cornerbacks and safeties. Then it says Jay Foreman, inside linebacker coach. Great. We're good. It's a pretty good staff there. You got any problems with that?
Nah, I'm all right with that.
I like Donovan Rayola, and I like my man Applewhite as a running back coach. You missing? I mean, this is like you have two coaches on offense. I mean, there are three.
I kind of like Bill. To be honest with you, though, if Mickey's retained, I kind of like Bill Bush at defensive coordinator. What do you think?
I think he get the job done.
He's at least proven that he should be part of the discussion.
Yeah, I think a lot of coaches have. I mean, the job Applewhite has done, the job in some form or fashion that Donovan Rayola has done. I always say that I watch this Purdue game for whatever, because I got a lot of time and I'm sometimes wake up way too early. I watched it like 6 or 7 times. There's so many plays where there's 4 guys actually blocking their guy, and there's one guy just whiffing. So what? But
not good.
So what it's telling me
not
though,
good.
that means they're actually they're better. It's hard to say that they're better when there's just one guy running free. But there's like one guy just like the dude is here, like grab him or something. You know what I'm saying? So, well, anyways, I mean, I think this discussion on where we're at as a program is good. Rico says, let me see what Rico says. That's an expensive staff. Yeah, okay, well, Rico, I'm gonna tell you this, my man Rico. We have been paying coaches to go away like no other. It's like Nebraska has been like the parachute patch. Nebraska needs to get this. I
think more than any other school, they pay for coaches not to coach.
I'm going to tell you this. This is where we run into problems, and this is where I think if you could do a comparable, and it's kind of not directly, and I only know because I played for this team, is the Houston Texans, is Charlie Cashley used to overpay for average or below average players just to go get a guy, right? You know what I'm saying? So he would overpay. He'd pay guys that nobody else was going to pay Pro Bowl money, and nobody else was offering that. Just to say, okay, we signed Nate Brennan.
Yeah, it makes some money,
right? But then everybody's
business.
So for 2 or 3 agents are like, once you be a free agent, go to Houston, they'll overpay you. That's their job, right? Nebraska can't be that place where this can be a safe landing spot for guys that just want to get this gold. Like Mike Riley. I knew we were in trouble when my man said, I've never been to Nebraska. I looked on YouTube. He didn't know nothing about Nebraska. He probably did a Wikipedia and went over the football program.
Hey, in his defense, that's what I did before I moved here.
Yeah, but and to his defense,
look where it got me.
If I'm about to get fired
if
I'm about to get fired, I guess, say I was at Minnesota head coach and I've been there for, say I played at Minnesota and all this other stuff, and I'm from there, and I'm about to get fired, and somebody calls you up and says, we're going to pay you twice the money you're getting paid now, and your whole staff, and they're all going to pay bump. I'm hanging up the phone and I'm already down there. I'm leaving everything sight unseen. So I can't, but we just got to get past that. And also as a fan base, we need to get past the poser stage as well. Stop trying to be cool and say, and you want to sit up there and say, we have so-and-so as our coach. That makes us good. We have college game day here, so we have arrived. No, it does not.
Look where that got you.
Stop being so fascinated with everything besides football. Football comes first. How we play, how we prepare, how we go about building our team, our staff, our support staff, our alumni staff, everything else. That's the most important thing. Because all the other stuff that we've been fascinated with over for the last 10 or 15 years or however long, that'll come. And then it's going to come in droves. Then it's going to come so much, you're going to get sick of it. That's why we get so fascinated, because we haven't had it. But don't think because you're playing a good team and you're on national TV that you're equivalent of them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Illinois will come punch you in the mouth.
Yeah. They're from Illinois. They think they're tough. They think they're tough.
I don't know if they think. I mean, they're top 10 defense, pretty good.
Oh, they're tough. They play with an edge.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. Like primetime game, like you're on ABC. Like,
well, this is
Illinois coming in and punch you in the mouth.
Here's what I would, if I was talking to the team at some point in time in your life, you know what I'm saying? In your life, and especially when you're playing football, you got to draw the line. Like, you just got to get tired of it. You know what I'm saying? You're like, at some point in time, forget the coaches, forget social media, forget your NIL deals, right? Sooner or later, are you a man or are you a mouse? Straight up. This is what this game's about, okay? Are you a fake tough guy or are you tough? You don't got to tell me. I don't need to see you, I don't need you to tell me anymore, because you told me enough and I ain't seen it. But at some point in time, I've got to see it. And you know what, better yet? Forget that me seeing it. You know what I mean? You ain't got nothing. You don't owe me anything. You owe it to yourself. More than anything. Forget and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it without really meaning it. Forget the fans. Forget the coaches. Forget the social media stuff. Prove it to yourself. Prove it to yourself. Prove it to your teammates. Because as many fans are out there in social media, when you get to be old and 46 like me, when you guys have your reunion, you got to look those dudes in the face. Those are the dudes that you want to go and be able to go down to Barry's and have a beer with and kick back and reminisce because you guys sold out and you guys did what you need to do. That's what I'm trying to get you to feel, right? You know what I mean? So when you guys, when you think of Nate Brennan, like, yeah, that dude we laid it on the line together. We upset Illinois together. Those dudes thought they were going to come in and roll overs, and they got rolled. They rolled right up out of town. We were part of the big victory that was the part of, the turnaround. This could be a game like Illinois going to Penn State, where you're kind of like, Illinois started out they beat Nebraska, turn around and lose to what was it? It was San Antonio, Texas State, University of Texas San Antonio, right, with Larry Colker or whatever, right, the next week, right? Kind of win, and then they kind of go through a lull. Brett Bielema at a alumni kind of deal says that, you know what, our offensive line room isn't very good, our recruiting classes isn't very good. He didn't really mean it, but it got taken out of context. So there's turmoil, right, and adversity in his locker room. He falls on the sword, explains what he meant, moves on. They go to Penn State on a sleepy game, and beat Penn State, it seems like, in 25 overtimes. And there's that picture that came out where he brought every single offensive lineman out there and had one running back to get a third and fourth one. That's a win that changed the mentality of his program. So this victory against Illinois, oddly enough, could be that one to springboard Nebraska, obviously to potentially go into a bowl game. But for next year, you're thinking about, like, you look back on this victory here, like this is the one that changed the tide. That's what you want to be a part of. And it ain't going to start on Saturday. It starts, it started yesterday. It started Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? And you're only going to be able to do it together. But it's going to be hard. You're not playing a number, I don't know whether they're top 10 team or top 15 team.
They're 18.
Okay, the top
17,
18 team there, the hottest team in the Big Ten West and the most consistent all year. They're not going to come in here and roll over. They aren't a fake 6-1. Be honest with you, they probably should be 7-0.
They should be.
Because they gave that game away against Indiana. So at the end of the day, you're playing an undefeated team. And if they were undefeated, they'd be top 10. So you're playing a top 10 team that you match up with physically. Now, can you get there mentally? And mentally isn't the first and second quarter. Can you stay in the fight? Are you willing to stay in the fight as long or longer than Illinois? And that's just not from like running into you and trying to, bump tackle you. Can I out-execute you? Can I be as physical? Can I be more physical than you? And do I want it more? That's it. I was just more into it. But ultimately, that's what I would ask you. When are you tired of it, man? Forget the expectations. Forget the black shirts. Forget all that other stuff. When are you going to be tired? Because individual stuff in these type of games don't mean anything. Because that's what you're not going to. Now, you're known for those individual performances when you win. If you do it in a loss, nobody cares. But ultimately, just say, like, you get, say, a big fumble recovery and 4 tackles in this game is bigger than you having 14 tackles and you get your head beat in. They'll be like, oh, well, you probably were chasing the running back. The running back ran for 200 yards, right? But a big play in this game is more important, and your team winning means more. 50-yard receiving in this game. 6 catches for 76 yards in a TD means more in this game. It does. So what does that mean, Nate Brennan? You have to sacrifice. That's the difference. What are you willing to sacrifice for the betterment of the team, what ultimately will betterment you? Because up until this point, up until after the bye week, I think there has been some sacrifices, right? I think that's been demanded of it. But I would ask you, if you look back years past, last year, I'd ask some of those same dudes. Yeah, you're 3-9, but I don't think you guys sacrificed enough. Because some of you guys were operating on your individual own kind of deals. That's how you end up at 3-9. And be like, man, you're immensely talented. Or you guys are so close. They were
pretty good.
Yeah, but you didn't sacrifice enough because you kept coming up short. So you kept doing the same thing, just enough to be close. So you weren't sacrificing enough to get there, right? So if I'm coaching, I guess, a position, I'm demanding a sacrifice from you. Because you want to know why? I'm sacrificing time coming in and coaching you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, I'm getting paid for it, but ultimately I'm staying late, right? I don't get to probably eat at home. I'm sure these guys aren't going home and hey, you home for 6 o'clock for dinner? You fight rush hour? You know what I'm saying? No, you ain't coming home to 9, 10 o'clock. Probably just, peeking your head in, seeing, saying goodnight to your kids, getting up. The coaches are sacrificing. Everybody's sacrificing. Everybody's, stuff is on the line. It's time to get in. If you want to get into it together, we got to sacrifice, man. That's what it is. Are you willing to sacrifice, Nate, 2 catches to go somewhere else for the betterment of the team? Can you keep your attitude right? It's like giving up shots and you got to win. You know what I'm saying? You got to do it. Sometimes, that's how you win. That's what you do as a championship type of team. You had a lot of guys that are willing to sacrifice their body and individual accolades for the betterment of the team. And then eventually it all works out. It does. I mean, I remember playing in this defense that we had called the bubble defense. Man, I hated that stuff. Straight up. I would have to get up close to the line of scrimmage, literally on the heels of a defensive lineman, and line up as a 3 technique against the 300-pound guards. I mean, and these are real linemen then. You know what I mean? That eliminated me be able to run and make people miss and make plays. But what it did was it created a whole bunch of one-on-one opportunities for everybody else in the defense line to make plays. And then what I had to do, Coach McBride was like, figure it out. You're a football player. Figure it out. find a way for it to be a positive. So that's sacrifice, right? You got to take on a lead blocker, take on a blocker. That's what you got to do. You can't be like, oh, I got to make a play, so I'm gonna jump around a block and make a play. That might work against like North Dakota, but when you playing against like Illinois, you jump around a block. That dude Chase Brown gonna hit his head on the goalpost. So that's just where they're at, man. That's a little bit of a sermon. I'm gonna get one little text in here. He says, "Why the extreme change in expectations for Mickey? Game 1 for Mickey was against OU. You guys were expecting the Nebraska win. Now is acceptable for if his team loses the rest of the games." I don't know what that means. That's not right, boys. Well, first of all, I don't even know what they did. Was I part of this conversation? I never said it would be acceptable. And we even said, I mean, I think you said you wonder it's what it looks like, right? I mean, no, it's not acceptable to be losing every game. Expect Nebraska to win every game. Now, reality is that probably might not happen, but I'm not a part of that conversation. 0 or 6917. So I really don't know. I don't have any apples in those oranges, as they say, Nate.
I also was not expecting a win against Oklahoma. I want to make that very clear.
Yeah, I was expecting them not to get their brakes beat off them, though. But let me see what Craig Mack says. Yeah, I always speak. Yeah, he's like, screw zone coverage. Players haven't been coached well enough to know the assignment. Yeah, maybe. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 9. Linebacker. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 9. You're probably right. But I mean, I just think that it's a tremendous opportunity for these dudes. I mean, what better way to play against the nation's leading rusher? You know what I mean, Nate? I mean, I would be trying to crack his head open to the white meat.
I stack the box. That's what me and Strick were saying. Make Tommy DeVito beat you. Dare him to beat you.
Let me ask you something. If you was at the bottom of the pile, would you accidentally poke him in his eyes?
Would I?
I'm asking you. I'm looking dead at you and asking you.
So you want me to get a competitive advantage? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what. Aren't you playing a competitive game?
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to make sure. I'm asking you because I want to see where
pick my brain.
Yeah. I just want to see where your mind's at.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what Thunder Collins. He says, yes. And yeah, I like you. See, I know the Thunder Soft Collins, you could accidentally gleek in somebody's face. If you guys don't know what gleek means, go ahead and Google it. Let me see. Who is this? 832. That's like Houston, Texas. Is that Texas? Oh, CJO from Houston, Texas. Who is someone who may be more of a afterthought on a defense that can step up in a big way? That's a great question.
Someone's going to have to with Henrich out. He's done for the season.
Who do you think? I think it's going to be by committee, but who do you think? I think this is a huge game for Chris Klorovic.
Is he the one who's stepping in for Henrich?
Well, I'm saying it's a huge game for him to cement himself. It's a great opportunity.
It's going to be someone in that linebacker room. It has to be, right? Because Henrich is done, and Reimer's obviously beat up because he didn't even play against Purdue. I think he's supposed to play.
Who's an afterthought on defense that can step up in a big way? That's a good question. Who would you think?
Gifford, maybe?
I was going to say him. I was going to say Gifford.
I would say Gifford,
but he's already kind of been playing.
Or one of the linebackers are going to have to step up, and I think it's going to be a linebacker by committee. I don't know if there's any one guy that they're saying, okay, you're going to step up.
I don't know who's an afterthought because I think that, I would say either a linebacker or an interior defensive line. We need, and ideally would be like, oh man, he played. He had a big factor. Maybe it's Drew. Maybe it's
that's what Matt says. He says you need it to be Ty Robinson.
You needed Ty Robinson to be dominant in this game, from first play to last. If I'm Ty Robinson, this is a game tailor made for me.
832 said Hausman.
Yeah, you'd like to. I mean, that's again by committee. Hausman, Vaughn Clemens, Luke Reimer.
I don't know if
the safety
Reimer
play
really falls into that category.
No, not but I'm just saying, to answer that, you need a linebacker room that's kind of been an afterthought.
Because that's Henrich being out for the season is huge, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's your captain number one.
Huge.
He's your signal caller on defense number 2. 3, he's kind of like your steady presence. I think he is a good combination between him and Luke Reimer. You kind of guy that's got steady, and then Luke can kind of splash play it up. They play different. Obviously different position, but just obviously play different. And Nick's the thing is, Nick was playing pretty good against Purdue, and I hate for him to be hurt. Because Nick's a good kid, tough, plays football for the right reasons, plays for Nebraska for the right reasons. So you want guys like that to be a part of your program. But he'll bounce back because he's tough, mentally tough. He's a good spirited kid, and he'll come back just as good as he was before. So I think really to be honest with you, I think the whole defense can step up, but ideally you want Ty Robinson to really, really step forward this game and have a big game.
Before the season, he was the guy that was looked upon. I don't know why that would change now. I mean, that's the thing is honestly, I would say anyone on the defensive line, because coming into the season, you were like, okay, those guys are going to be solid. Like, these are the guys to look to. And
you want him to
outside of Nelson,
you want him and Garrett to be your tempo setters.
You throw O'Shawn in that group too.
Yeah. I'm just talking them, but different though. Like you want Ty and Garrett to be your tempo setters in the run game. O'Shawn, closer. Caleb, closer. Right? You get what I'm saying? So this is where the whole thing is. It's got to be a pack of wolves to go out. This is a big time game, man. You don't want to end up on Mr. Go 30 again, and where he says you stunting for the Instagram, but you get out there on the field, you can't bust a grape. I mean, at this point in time, I mean, there's nothing wrong with challenging people, man. I mean, because if you don't want me to challenge you as your coach, because I know you can do better, or I think you can go to another level, what you think Illinois gonna do? They just gonna they gonna come here and they don't have any remorse for you. You get what I'm saying? So I think I'm interested to see what's up, but I'm still I haven't heard from Mickey. He hasn't reached out to me because the baseball bat is still there. I know we got to go to a break, but Nate, the baseball bat is still there. Okay? I'm going to keep saying it.
I know that.
It's in the equipment room.
You've been saying, I know.
I'm not saying Mickey needs to run out with it. All right? Because we I don't want to do that. Then the text line and social media be going crazy. But the baseball bat is there for somebody to run out that tunnel. And you just, once you run out, they have the line. It was the band or something. When you come through the tunnel, was it the band? You just veer off to the right, and you run right down that side. Hey, you think I'm playing? No, you run right down that sideline, right past big old Bielemo, right? Okay, with that baseball bat, you just running past them, so they know you're gonna beat their butt with it, straight up, and then you just sit over there on the sidelines, patting it every time, just pat.
It could work. Man. Try something. Why not?
Hey,
why not?
Hey, by any means necessary, right?
Yeah.
Right. All right, man. Enough fun, man. But I'm joking, but not joking. But we're gonna go to a break, and we'll be right back in another 6 minutes. This is Old School with Jay Foreman and Nate.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Mike Schaefer here for Trek CBD. It's football season, and that means you're tailgating with friends, or if you're like me, yelling at the TV during Vikings games. Trek CBD has a variety of products that help calm me down during the games, so don't scare my dog. But in the rare cases that I yell too much, there's CBD products for him, too, and all other pets. Whether you're looking for drinkable Delta 8 seltzers, hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups for your beverages, or anything else, Trek CBD has it all at 84th and Anderson. Trek CBD done right.
Life-changing research doesn't just take place in outer space. It's also happening right here in Nebraska, and you could play a key role. Solarion, one of the world's leading clinical research organizations, needs healthy adults who are 19 years old and older for a research opportunity. If you qualify, you could earn up to $500 a day for time and travel. Overnight stays may be required. To learn more, call Solarion at 866-213-2965 or visit helpresearch.com/500.
Join DP and Jay Foreman for Old School today from 4 to 6 at the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus. The guys will be broadcasting from the Barred Owl Patio Bar on the top floor. Come see the best views in town with great drinks on Thirsty Thursday. Today, the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus.
You want to join a team of industry leaders, a team where you can learn and grow, a team that treats you right. Well, don't hesitate to look at all the great career opportunities at Acres Equipment, the largest John Deere dealer network in Nebraska. We offer industry-leading wages, state-of-the-art benefits, and a great culture that focuses on both our customers and our employees. Find your next career opportunity at acres.com/careers.
You had to know that when Wingstop set out to make a crispy, juicy chicken sandwich, they wouldn't make it in just one flavor. They'd make it in all 12, like lemon pepper, mango habanero, hickory smoked barbecue, and OG hot. So why have one new favorite chicken sandwich when you can have 12? Try the new sauced and tossed Wingstop chicken sandwich today for only $5.49 at Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Valid for a limited time and available at participating Wingstop locations only while supplies last. Price subject to applicable taxes and fees.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Sunny skies and near seasonal conditions as temperatures rise up to 61 this afternoon. Winds out of the north-northwest at around 15. Mainly clear tonight, a little cool with a low 34. Tomorrow, increasing cloud cover late with a high once again of around 61. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. In high school football this week, Lincoln East Malachi Coleman committed to Nebraska as a 4-star top prospect in the loaded 2023 class. 7 city schools have qualified for postseason play. In Class A, number 8 Lincoln Southwest will host number 9 Millard West. Number 14 Lincoln East will play on the road against the undefeated Elkhorn South. Lincoln Southeast will face the Gretna Knights, led by Zane Flores. Switching to Class B, number 8 Lincoln Pius X will host number 9 Elkhorn South. And in Class C1, number 9 Lincoln Christian will travel and face number 8 Omaha Roncalli. This has been your Southeast Community College High School Minute. Learn more today at southeast.edu with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford.
I grew up hearing that women are bad with money, but like many of you, I spent years paying bills, managing checking accounts, and taking care of my family. So turns out women are pretty good with money after all. And now I'm taking control of my financial future by saving for retirement. It's never too late to start, and there's a great website to help you. Check out WeSaySaveIt.org and jumpstart your retirement savings on your budget and your timeline. That's WeSaySaveIt.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back, pumping a little Snoop. Nate, it's Tuesday. It's not even hump day, man. Your energy level is low.
What do you mean my energy level is
You're
low?
over there yawning.
Well, no, part of it is I was going off on the block. Me and Strick were getting heated. I was getting in some fights.
So essentially, you tapped out early.
I don't know. I'm
all right. Let's see what Ham and Beans is talking about.
A long day. It's always a long day.
He said, "Suit him up, coach. At the bottom of the pile, do anything to make him not want to be in the pile." That's what I'm talking about, Ham and Beans.
Wow.
Yeah. He's like, that's what practice squad guys are for, giving the bat. Exactly. Exactly.
That would be me out there.
Really, to be honest with you, Ham and Beans, that's why I didn't go back down there last year, because Frost and those guys didn't like my idea with that bat. He said I was too Neanderthal.
You don't like that? I'm pretty good.
I like my techniques. My techniques seem to work all the time.
To get you attention.
Let's see, 1705. He says, with all the joint injuries it seems like we've had lately, do you feel it reflects on strengthening? No, I don't think so. I think one thing is, I didn't know this, but some people just have like flimsy joints. You know what I'm saying? They just stuff is weak.
Really?
Yeah.
It's genetics or something?
I guess. I don't know. They just kind of like more loose. My stuff is like steel.
Is that right?
Yeah. Like black steel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Brown steels. Well, you think I'm brown or caramel? What do you think? You don't know?
I don't know.
All right. You remind me of Brian Jacobs, man. This dude I met when I first met in Minnesota. He's like, they say you black, but your skin brown. He's like, why is that? I said, I don't know. But I look good. Hey, Crowbait, let's see. He said, we would like to see more out of Mathis this year. Well, this is it.
That is for sure,
well,
Crowbait.
This is why he's here. This is it. This is do or die Brooklyn, New York. This is it, man.
I mean, you didn't get him to play against North Dakota. You got him to play against Illinois. You're right.
Thunder Soft Collins said worst things happen at the bottom of a pile, eight man football pile in central Nebraska. I hear you. That's what I'm talking about. Thunder Soft Collins. Well, I think we covered everything, as far as where we're at.
Just
somebody texted in, asked about who the reporter was to get. He said, let me see what is it. Jason, was it Rand? He said, who was the reporter who got Mickey to commit an NCAA violation, asking about Malachi, and Mickey actually answered with the kid's name? Who cares? Who cares he mentioned kid's name?
Mention whose name?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Malachi.
I wasn't there. We'd have to ask Nick. Nick was there.
Nick was there. Where is Nick?
I don't know.
Is Nick not listening when he ain't here?
Well,
selfish.
No.
he only wants people to listen to him.
Nick, no, that is true. Well, also, Nick was wearing a T-shirt. Yeah, they told me, wear a collared shirt, man. Come on.
You didn't even have a golf shirt on?
No, he was wearing that Cubs hoodie T-shirt that he wears.
He just came right out of bed. That's what
I know.
Nick, your bro clothes are not working at the press
I don't know.
conference.
He
was on his bro. He was
nice
on his
shirt.
bro. He was on his.
He
on
was
his bro.
Yeah, it's all right with that.
Yeah, I don't know who the reporter was. It probably was Nick that answered.
No, Nick usually doesn't ask questions.
It was probably Nick. Until Nick texted in, it was Nick.
All right.
When in doubt, blame Nick. So it was Nick. I don't know anything about it, man. I think at the end of the day, we can talk a little bit. I think it's a good get for Nebraska. It's good for Malachi. And it now the rest is up to Malachi. He's got a lot of work to do, put in. I think hopefully it's a lot of pressure off of his shoulders. Decide where I know when I decided where I was going to go, I felt a relief, even though I played well, but still,
especially staying home too. I mean, yeah,
you can kind of plan out your stuff and figure it out, and then got a family and friends close by. He's got to be extremely focused. The real work begins now. And I think it's good for Nebraska now. It's going to take a lot of work now. I mean, these dudes that you're going to be facing,
grown men.
Yeah. So but at the end of the day, if you want it bad enough, you figure it out. And football is still football. So let's see what Disingenuous says. He has a name. I mean, dude, hey, Disingenuous is hard to. Hey, look, man, my vocabulary isn't very good, my brother. I want to hear from you. Why can't our defensive ends get quarterback pressure?
It's a fair question.
I think Caleb Tanner, up until last game, nobody really got pressure, but he'd been doing a good job of getting pressures. Getting pressure on a quarterback is a combination of things. The coverage has to be good, and you have to, you got to be one-on-one blocks, and then you got to recognize the blocking schemes. And then if you're running any type of games, right, TE stunts, ET stunts with a long loop by a tackle or anything like that, blitzes, you got to hit it, and you got to be timing it up right. I think that was a little bit of our problem, especially early in the year. And teams are, like Garrett had a good year last year, so they're gonna key on him.
He's looked pretty good this year. He's got a few sacks.
He's done all right. He definitely could play better. Then O'Shawn, I think,
Oh, there he is.
Who?
Nick.
Get on the mic. Get on
he
the
was
mic.
listening.
Oh, he got Wingstop too. Look at him. He brought him a little. Look at him. Got him a little Scooby snack. He looked like he just woke up from a nap. He still got his cups thing on there. Looked and broke the mic. Discombobulated. Can't look. All
right.
Hello.
Can you hear?
What's up?
Somebody on the StreamYard texted in and said, "Who was the reporter that asked Mickey about Malachi?"
I'm not outing anybody. It was nobody at 93.7 The Ticket, though.
So it wasn't Nick.
It was no, it was not me.
We blamed you.
Well, that was Jay.
No.
Somebody in this room here said that you need to start wearing a collared shirt to the press conference.
That's what I was saying. You got to wear a
I
collared
hadn't talked
shirt.
to you all day, so I don't know who else would say that.
No, it was not me that asked the question.
Did you start laughing when he asked it? Because
Yeah.
I would have been laughing.
Yeah, no, there were a lot.
Did it go silent? Like, dang, dog, you really asked that?
So the people on the stream obviously can't see me, but you guys can. There were the bigger name reporters that we were like. I was sitting next to Sip, and like obviously the people
Did Sip start shaking his head?
No, not necessarily. We were just like, is it? So the funny part is the guy interrupted Mickey the first time.
That's what I'm talking about.
And Mickey was like, no, we're not gonna. We're like, I don't need to finish my first answer. Go ahead, ask the question. But you heard the reporter start to ask the question, and we're like, "Oh, please change it! Don't say it! Don't say it again!"
I'm talking about.
And he said the same thing the second time.
Was he young?
Yeah, he's been in it probably 2 years.
There it is.
So, but there was people in the front row looking at Mickey, going, "Don't." But then, it is what it is. So,
I was like, "What'd you get at Wingstop, my brother?"
The guys tonight are doing the Hot Ones challenge.
Oh.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
the basketball.
You can get it at Wingstop?
Basketball, and
did you bring air freshener and ice cream for him?
No, I didn't.
Did you give him any tips?
Nope.
Oh.
Haven't talked to him.
Wait, you can do the hot challenge at Wingstop?
No. So we got the wings.
You got
so
the
shout out to
wings
Wingstop
and
for
then
helping us
they're bringing
out.
in the sauce.
And then Brett will bring in the sauces.
Oh, Brett's coming in. Nice.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I don't do spicy stuff well at all.
I've done it twice. Oh my God. But no, so here's the funny. I can't believe you guys pinned that on me.
I didn't. I want to be very clear.
DP and I were sitting next to each other and just shook our head. We're like, no,
that was Jay.
That's not good.
I didn't pin it on you. I just said until we find out who asked, we're just gonna blame you.
I can tell you guys during the break. It's probably best if I don't reveal the identity.
Do you think they got in trouble?
Probably. Yeah.
They probably won't be. That probably be they got 2 weeks.
Keith Mann ain't playing that.
I don't know. See, no, here's the deal. It's like it's is it a big deal? No, I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's just not. I mean, it's a NCAA violation. Like you're not supposed to talk about dudes that haven't signed to your program yet. So, or mention them by name. Like you can talk obviously about recruiting and the reaction, and there's ways that you can understand who the coach is talking about without saying their name. So it's just it is what it is. Happened, and will anything come of it? I doubt it. I mean, nothing crazy will probably happen. So. It just kind of caught all of us off guard, and we were like, "Oh boy, here we go."
Yeah.
And I sometimes wear a collared shirt. Today,
I know you do.
Today I did not.
You just had your bro stuff on. It's all good.
Hey, I had golf pants on. I just didn't have a collared shirt on.
That's the new look in golf, though. So
Yeah.
Nate, you need to step your game up, young man.
For what?
Golf, the hoodie.
I wear a suit every day.
Short sleeve hoodies are great.
I wear a suit every
Jay,
day.
you should get yourself a short sleeve hoodie.
I know you worry about what I wear every day.
Why is
trying to
that?
give you more options
Is
in
this
your
beef?
wardrobe.
Is this beef?
Yeah.
How have I missed out on this?
Because this dude will say,
What
this
happened?
Dude, him and Rico and DP literally charted what I wore every day for like a month. And then when I came in with something else on, Nick was like, "Oh, look like you got a new outfit on today."
I don't know what you're talking about. Nah.
And then I had to file a claim with HR. I felt like it was.
Did you?
I was
And
getting
HR
bullied.
is Rico. So,
I was-
so you can tell
I
how
was
far
getting
that
bullied
went.
at work.
Just wear something different. There was no question in our minds that like you have bad hygiene, like you have good hygiene. Like we're not worried about that. It's just the same outfit every day, same hat, same Firethorn hat. Then you got a white shirt on and then black sweatpants every day. Jay Foreman.
Well, he's wearing shorts now.
Well, I'm not.
You were in sweatpants?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't figure that out.
Nate doesn't pay attention to the details like
I don't pay attention to details because I look fresh every day because I wear a suit every day. Someone's got to dress up around here.
And that would be you.
That's right.
With that being said, we're going to break, and then we're going to come back one short segment and end it for Old School today.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
Hi, I'm Charlie Stone, and I'm back with Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, you said to me earlier you have a lot going on at the dealership. Can you tell our listeners about it?
Sure can, Charlie. As I've said before, if you don't see a vehicle on our lot that you're looking for, it's probably on its way soon.
So, how many new Hondas do you have in stock or on the way?
We have a total of over 325, Charlie, with a great selection of Pilots and Ridgelines in stock right now.
Well, we have been talking about the Honda of Lincoln way of buying cars for several months. How is that going?
People love it. We're buying all makes and models, whether they purchase the car from us or not. I mean, really, it's a no hassle, and we will pay them cash on the same day.
Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Life-changing research doesn't just take place in outer space. It's also happening right here in Nebraska, and you could play a key role. Solarion, one of the world's leading clinical research organizations, needs healthy adults who are 19 years old and older for a research opportunity. If you qualify, you could earn up to $500 a day for time and travel. Overnight stays may be required. To learn more, call Solarion at 866-213-2965 or visit helpresearch.com/500.
Did you know that the U.S. has added over 1,100 new breweries in the last 18 months? Learn more by shopping at Myers Cork and Bottle, 13th and South, and by tuning into Thirsty Thursdays with Kevin Myers, because sports are better with a drink in your hand and a friend at your side.
Join DP and Jay Foreman for Old School today from 4 to 6 at the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus. The guys will be broadcasting from the Barred Owl Patio Bar on the top floor. Come see the best views in town with great drinks on Thirsty Thursday today, the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus.
Trendy or traditional, Gary Michaels Clothiers specializes in men's tailored clothing. Off the rack or custom made to measure, there is simply no better shopping experience. Offering designer furnishings, sportswear, shoes, outerwear, and accessories for a man always concerned at looking his best. With world-class tailoring and personal service, all makes Gary Michaels Clothiers Nebraska's premier store for men. Come visit us now at Village Gardens, south of 56th and Pine Lake Road in Lincoln.
Join us on Friday from 4 to 6 at Bourbon Street as we get you ready for Saturday's game against Illinois. Old School Jay Foreman and DP goes from 4 to 6 p.m. Stop by for some of the best drinks and Cajun food in town at Bourbon Street at 8th and Q.
Mike Schaefer here for Trek CBD. It's football season, and that means you're tailgating with friends, or if you're like me, yelling at the TV during Vikings games. Trek CBD has a variety of products that help calm me down during the games, so don't scare my dog. But in the rare cases that I yell too much, there's CBD products for him, too, and all other pets. Whether you're looking for drinkable Delta 8 seltzers, hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups for your beverages, or anything else, Trek CBD has it all at 84th and Anderson. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back in effect. Last little 3 or 4 minutes. Sitting here chopping it up with Nick the Great. You know, the man of the hour.
Nick the Great.
Man,
That's
the 2
how
hours
it goes.
went by quick, man. And Ham and Bean said,
Because you got your boy.
We need to take a trip to Gary Michaels.
You paying?
Nope. I like my Gary Michaels. If he has sweatsuits, I'll get one. But I don't need one. But Nick, you know, Nick, we're gonna see when it starts getting cold, and I bust up in here in my onesie, and it's a thermal onesie though.
Jay, you're gonna come in here with your parka eventually.
Yeah, with the
You got a parka?
I got Elmer Fudd hat that he likes to make fun of me too.
It's a giant ass coat.
But Nate, here's the deal. When I go outside, I'm warm.
I bet you are.
Okay, and it doesn't look good. Right, it's not fashionable because you're not going to see me on the runway anywhere. But Nick and those guys that try to be fashionable and be on their bro coats,
Nick will wear that all year round.
Yeah,
100%.
And he's cold.
No, I'm not.
So what, you a polar bear?
Pretty close.
So what does that mean? You're cold-blooded or warm-blooded? Cold-blooded.
It would be cold-blooded, where I don't have temperature or heat outside temperature.
I'm pretty sure polar bears are warm-blooded.
Thank you. Thank you, Brett.
Are you a mammal?
I would be considered and identified
Here,
as a mammal.
Hey, I'm gonna ask you this. Hey, Nick, I'm gonna ask you this. Because
Do we need to bring Brett in to roast you?
No, we got 2 hours. I got 2 hours with
but
Brett.
Here, I'm gonna ask you because Nate struggled with it for literally took up a whole segment.
Okay, that's an over-exaggeration.
It did. We had 85 texts over here. We had Rico, who hardly ever texts in the show, say, "Come on, this is ridiculous."
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna ask you a question. Coach McBride, you know who he is?
Yeah.
Okay. There was a saying when he talked about recruits. He's like, it's great that these guys are, at that time, blue chips, which will be a 5-star. That's great when they get here. He's like, but I wish we could go inside them and see if their heart pumps Kool-Aid or the real stuff. So then I proceeded to ask Nate if his heart pumped Kool-Aid or not.
Okay.
And he said his heart pumped Kool-Aid.
No, I took it back.
Hold on, Nate.
No, I took it back.
Nick, go back and listen to it.
Okay.
Nick,
I took it back.
He not only said it once, twice, and contemplated a third time, and it's more or less he said it 3 times.
Oh, no.
But I took it back.
But did you understand the question?
Yes.
And you would have said what?
I would have said the real stuff.
Right. He said, he said, you know what? He's like, what's the difference between your heart pumping Kool-Aid and drinking the Kool-Aid? Are you kidding me?
As a player, do you want to drink the Kool-Aid or
I told him,
I
told him essentially Nate O'Brien disrespected his dad and his last name, saying that you were a
But I
chump.
took it back.
And then he said, how so?
I donate blood.
That's what he said. He said, I donate blood.
That means nothing. That means nothing in this
Now
argument.
you see how we wasted 15 minutes of precious air.
Jay, I am so sorry that I
don't
left
know
you
about
guys.
that,
Right.
too.
I'm sorry that I left you guys, left you with Rico, and then now Rico left,
Jay
and
loves
now
having
here
me
you
on
are,
the show.
Nate.
He'll
This
just
dude
never
said, I
admit it.
donate blood.
Joe,
Yeah.
Jay
Like, that's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Jay loves having me on the air.
He said, I donate blood. So then that made
Man,
it all better. You
that's
know what else
rough.
he said about Urban Meyer? Guess where he said Urban Meyer's first big coaching job was?
Hey, I'm colorblind.
No. Stop. Guess
It's
where he
true.
said it was?
Is it one of his actual jobs?
Yeah, but
Was it Bowling Green?
It
He said Bowling Green.
No,
That
no. Guess what he said?
Utah.
No.
Well, I already know he's a
He said Grambling State.
What does that have to do with you being colorblind?
No, because we were talking about the G, and we were talking about the Packers G, and I said that it was green, and supposedly it's not green, but I'm colorblind.
It's not green.
But
no, I know
It
it's
is
I know
black
it's
and-
not
it's
green.
black
We
and
know that. We
gold.
can play
It
the
is
black
black
and-
You
No,
put
it's
this
like
guy
a
on
brown.
TV, Brett.
Hold on.
You put this guy on TV.
Hold on, Brett. It's Grambling State and Bowling Green. The G and B, there's nothing over.
No,
right?
no.
Am I correct?
No. Yeah.
And then I said, do you understand that Grambling State is the HBCU? Do you understand what that means? He says historical black college.
Okay.
I said, do you understand that Urban Meyer isn't black, right? I mean, are we earth-shattering information here?
And I said, I realized that.
You learn something new every day.
Every day.
And Jay found out that I was colorblind. And he
Right.
felt bad.
I felt that bad that you were colorblind because he said he didn't. He was picturing the G
I was.
from Grambling State, which has nothing to do with
No,
Bowling
there's
Green.
there's no.
And he
The
tried to
G's don't even look similar between
But
the
he
two
said it was
logos.
because of Green Bay. I said it was Gretna. Yeah, I said you thought about you.
Yeah, it wasn't Gretna.
He watched
Urban coached at Gretna.
Yeah, the state championship game. he
Regardless,
coached-
the point still stands. The
Urban has
least amount
coached
of
at
wins he's
Memorial.
ever had as head coach is 9.
except for
the
when he
point
was at
still
Jacksonville.
Okay, but that's pro football. We're talking about college. God, the least
But
amount of
isn't
games
it-
he's won is
but-
9.
hold on, But isn't it still coaching though? Hold on. What does that mean? Is that like a stomach ache?
Some
or
guy, no, some guys. I mean, you
You
can
got
talk about
gas or
Saban. You
something?
can talk about Saban the same way. I mean, some guys are college coaches, some
Hold
guys
on,
are
hold
professional
on.
coaches.
Saban won. He did it.
Saban got fired.
He didn't get fired at Miami. He left, my friend. And he had Miami. He went up there to New England wearing that Wildcat all up and down on the Patriots. So again,
I do remember that.
Okay, then. Nathaniel.
I'm just telling you. All I'm saying is that Urban Meyer's a winner, but I also don't think that Urban Meyer wants to come here. I think we're all on the same page.
Okay. Do you think you're? Do you?
Besides the Kool-Aid
okay,
aspect.
Here's the question: yes or no?
All right.
Do you think if Urban Meyer came here January 1st, which obviously I'm just do January 1st,
Right.
do you think it's the same Urban Meyer that took the Ohio State job years ago?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so then your point is nullified then.
Nah,
He's no longer a winner.
I still think he's a winner.
Do you think he's closer to the Urban Meyer that
He's closer to Jacksonville Urban Meyer than Ohio
and that's
State.
the-
I'm agreeing on.
so
I'm
that's
agreeing.
the dude that you want here?
I didn't say that. No, the text line said that. I was
No,
defending
you
the text
said it.
line. No, I did
You
not.
said that he was a winner.
I said that he's a
Okay.
winner, but I did not say that I wanted Urban Meyer. I
Brett
was helping
says
the
that
text
if
line
I
out.
was in high school, I would be a debate champion. You're wrong. I'm right. With that being
Is
said,
that right?
old school is done. We are continuing this
Oh,
next
that's
time I
an
see you.
interesting conversation.
I'm glad you could chime in.
I
there,
was
Nick.
defending the text line. That's all I was doing.
You've been talking about Urban Meyer
Here-
for 2 hours and
No,
50
no, that's Bach.
Here's
Bach's
an
the one that talks
interesting
about Urban Meyer.
Here's an interesting angle to Urban Meyer that I can throw in there for your guys' conversation tomorrow.
What?
People-
He used that iguanas last night?
Well, no.
Okay, go ahead.
People want Urban Meyer for in terms of when he leaves the position that Nebraska could be in as a program.
It's
That
the
is-
same way he left Jacksonville, right?
Well, no. I'm talking Ohio State. That's what people are thinking about. That's what a lot of people have talked to me about is that, hey, when he leaves, he could set up an assistant in a really good spot. They're thinking 8, 10, not even 8, 5, 6, 7 years down the road. Not right now, I
So
think.
Ohio State was so bad that he went 12-0 his first.
I think they just look at
I
the way
mean,
that
you know
Ryan
what?
Day is in right now.
Oh, okay. Ohio State just start getting good players. Would that be? I just love
Jay-
debating against you guys.
Jay,
I
go get your
win every
parka.
single
Go
time.
get your parka.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every